So there are two characters included. One is a more simple cartoony character, and this one's a little more complicated character that's a little more realistic. So this, I'm just going to overview the controls, each tab quickly, and this is the most updated version. Really, the thing that's changed recently is the FaceBot main controls. So here we are. The FaceBot tab. This has everything to do with the actual FaceBot rig itself. So load FaceBot will load in the rig. Delete FaceBot deletes the rig, and done bakes down the animation and deletes the rig. So, and this rig effect controls how much the rig affects the mesh itself. That the reason you have this slider is you can use the FaceBot rig to also adjust existing animation. So if I had this character and she was talking already, and I opened up the scene and I load the FaceBot will then get that animation applied to it. And using this slider here, I can control how much when I move the controls on the rig, it affects that animation. Okay. This tab here has to do with the eye controls. So you cannot turn on the eye controls unless the FaceBot rig is in the scene because they're connected to each other. So just keep that in mind. What else? Right. So the next tab over is the auto sync. So this auto sync is used for creating automatic lip sync animation using Microsoft SAPI. The way it works is you load in a WAV file. If you tick this auto transcribe, your WAV file will be sent to Google, and Google will try to auto transcribe it. Google does an okay job transcribing things that are kind of standard things that are being said, like "Hello, how are you doing?" and things like that. It'll do a pretty good job. So if your clip is fairly short and pretty standard stuff, I would go ahead and use it. It'll save you some time of typing some stuff out. If it's standard stuff and longer, you can still use it, but you can expect to wait while and you won't be able to do anything because it's going to be like timing out here and waiting. But you can wait, and it'll eventually get back to you. Or you can just not tick this and type it in yourself. Yeah, so there's that. So this is the setup tab. This has to do with setting up your model phonemes, and there's also a way to set up if your model didn't follow the standards, there is a way to kind of remap the morphs. It's really not the best way to work, and I'm going to make a video later of how to do it, but I wouldn't really recommend using this morph config method, so I'm not going to go over it here. And then there's a help tab, which you can click different topics and it'll bring you to a YouTube video most likely. Alright, so the FaceBot rig, so we'll load it in. Alright, so when you load it in, it's already been hooked up. In a previous version you had to press checkboxes to bake the rig and then initialize the rig. That I thought about it more, and I just thought, why not just load it in and have everything hooked up? That seems to make the most sense. So that's how it works now. So right now this is set to 0. If I crank that up, then now the rig has control. So if I do that, you can see her mouth is closing and opening. The rig is attached. When it comes in, it becomes constrained to your character's hips. And the FaceBot expects your character to follow human IK standards. You can look that up, and I included some links in the documents. but that means that your hips node must be named hips, capital HIPS. If that's not there, then it's not going to get constrained to it. It'll just be sitting in the scene, or it may actually give you an error. Yeah, so there's that. So the eye controls is, if you have the FaceBot in the scene, which it is, you can then turn on the eye controls. They come in. The eye controls are constrained to the head bone. Again, those are also human IK standards. It should be named head. And they'll move with the head. There are procedural blinks and saccadic animation. There are videos for this, so you can look at those to get these in more detail. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this overview. Watch the other videos for more information about each of these controls and how to use it. Thanks.